companionship, camaraderie. Cast in an age where man has been divided, and isolation runs rampant, these words have lost all meaning. This nightmarish hellscape commonly became known as 2011. But this world wasn't all fire and death. Minecraft was beginning to get popular, and gamers everywhere were taking notice. One gamer who joined this bandwagon was Robert Moran.
Do you guys ever stop singing?
Robert had a small following at this stage, being known mostly for his work on Unforgotten Realms. After failing to get paid for his work, however, he moved to Minecraft. He began streaming and playing Minecraft, usually on his own servers, where him and his friends had made several minigames of their own, including DwarvesvsZombies, a long-term survival server where two sides fought against each other night after night until all the dwarves were dead. This game was public and matches took place in real-world time, so with the power gap being so big, the matches could end up lasting for months at a time. This game would be tweaked and eventually would lead to the creation of each player spawns in and is randomly given one of 4 classes.
There's alchemy, tailoring, which gives you armor, and blacksmith, which gives you weapons. And those weapons really help.
However, these classes aren't just independent from one another, but they are all linked. I stumbled through that. Each class needs a certain resource to produce a certain thing. For example, builders can sometimes generate bones, which tailors need to make bone meal to produce seeds, and bakers need, and so on and so forth. I can't think of any more examples. Each dwarf sets up their own little shop, or else helps in building the one big shop. What? After 1 to 2 Minecraft days, depending on the player count, disaster strikes. This comes in many forms, be it dragon, wither, asthma. Whoever dies during this event will become the first monsters.
You know, there's a couple classes in there. There's a skeleton, you can become a creeper, the enderman, you could get become a wolf, and you have 4 eggs. Basically, you know, you'll see it.
If dwarf dies, they become a monster, and the cycle continues until the shrine is destroyed, or all the dwarves are killed. In most versions of the game, the dwarves don't have a win condition, so it's more of a time trials game more than anything else. Also, I don't know where to put this, so I'm just gonna stick it in here. I'm gonna be streaming some DBZ with the community this Saturday at around 8 p.m. UTC, or actually maybe not. I don't know. The time will be on screen. Either way, the time will be on screen. So if that sounds interesting, and I hope it does, twitch.tv/BigMarshTV. That's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the rest of the video. Now, what I described is known as classic or retro DBZ. You see, DwarvesvsZombies has been an incredibly volatile game. It was constantly being changed and tweaked in minor ways, and over time it has evolved into something that is only barely resembling the original. To add to this, there are several other servers who took Rob's original DBZ and used it in their own servers, albeit with a few tweaks to separate it. This has led to an already niche DBZ community to be split into even smaller niches. And what were these niches? Well, it can basically be broken down into 3 distinct periods. First, Crafter's DBZ. This is the one we just covered, recognizable by its player freedom and old Minecraft simplicity. This era had the official server tossed around a bit, and even whitelisted and only used for streaming for a lot of the early days. Next, Planet Minecraft. This era featured a lot more change and experimentation. Although briefly practiced before, this is the first time DBZ was publicly available 24/7, 365. Many things were tested to help ensure gamers could be sustained, even in this always online model. Pre-built bases, AI mobs, and new items were all fairly common, and were constantly being added, removed, and tweaked. This is also the period where DBZ was at peak popularity. So many servers had their own versions of the game. Although the oldest of this era, UberMC is probably the name most of you recognize. This was one of the biggest competitors to Rob's official DBZ. However, there weren't many changes made. Small stuff like new mobs, a new zombie ridge, and a dwarf win condition were the standout differences. And finally, Buffalo Wizards. This is where the game started to get wild. Classes and loadouts were introduced. The build phase of the match was basically gone, and instead players jumped straight into the action instead of a pre-built base. Loadouts and custom items were a key feature at this stage. Everyone, even dwarves, had abilities and special moves. The shrine was split into smaller shrines, spread across the map instead of just being one big shrine. The only remnant of old DBZ was the Death Republic. Otherwise, this might as well have been a different game. And that just about brings us to modern day, where everything worked out. Robert Moran is still working on Buffalo Wizards. Crafters now hosts a classic version of the game, and even Hypixel has adopted. No. You see, my sweet child, we must now discuss why DBZ, to most of you at least, is nothing but a memory. By 2013, DBZ had reached peak popularity. Pause on Pause, a Minecraft YouTuber, was boosting the game mode into unbelievable fame. These videos were recorded on PMC, with Robert Moran and Good. I haven't mentioned him yet, but Good was a friend of Rob's. They worked hand in hand in bringing DBZ online 24/7, and also in bringing it to PMC. Pause would stream and record these matches, which ended up doing extremely well. This, in turn, brought a lot of new players to the server. However, this success wouldn't last long. Later in that same year, Mojang, seeing the financial success of servers like Hypixel, decided to introduce an end-user license agreement. This EULA specifically forbid the charging of players in exchange for game-altering or behavior-changing items or mechanics. This made monetizing servers much more difficult. Good had wanted to continue supporting Planet Minecraft by increasing advertising and changing how the server was monetized, but Rob was against this. There were also apparently some more personal matters going on behind the scenes, but we don't really know the specifics of that. This disagreement, however, would eventually lead to the departure of DBZ and Rob from Planet Minecraft. Robert would go on to create Buffalo Wizards, which became the new official home of DBZ. Good would continue to fund and support PMC, but it would never reach the same level of popularity again, eventually shutting down completely in 2016. Buffalo Wizards would continue receiving support from DBZ players, but would slowly begin to bleed, eventually going offline in 2019, leaving the world with exactly 0 official DBZ servers. However, all hope was not lost. The DBZ community, united as always, wouldn't allow their game to die. Several community-hosted servers began taking root, each covering different niches. For example, Retro DBZ, covering the Crafters era, OGVZ for the PMC era, and Nightfall, covering the Buffalo Wizards era. Those are just a few examples. There are many more that are also active, including some bigger servers like Live. Player numbers were still low, however, so most matches became weekly events. But this only helped to rekindle a sense of community that DBZ was built on. I'll leave a link below to the main big DBZ Discord. From there you can find the specific server you want to try. For me it's Retro DBZ, or is it OG? Sorry, no, I think it's OGVZ. And that is where the game stands today. I don't think DBZ will ever reach its peak 2013, 2014 popularity ever again, no matter how much I wish it did. But I do hope because of this video, some of you will be interested enough to take a look at this niche little game mode being kept alive by a devoted few. It's just, it's so much fun, man. I mean, going hand in hand with people you've never met and just working together to build this messy, disgusting, but big, strong, and cozy base, only to end up, dying after all your prep and having to just break down those same walls. It's so simple, and yet it feels like Minecraft at its best. All of this has given DBZ, to me at least, a strong sense of camaraderie, companionship, and yes, castanets. Okay, I think the video is done. Hello there. This is me recording the last bit of the script. I've done a bit of editing already. I don't know. I might need to type more script out. I don't know, but I think maybe this should be enough. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. This video took like a lot of work. Also, this video is kind of niche, so if you could, I'd really appreciate if you could share it with some of your friends or something. Just kind of get it circulating. It would really help the channel out. So yeah, I hope it shows. I hope the video was good. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you at the stream on Saturday. That's again twitch.tv/BigMarshTV. And yeah, hope you subscribe, hope you like, hope you comment. I like reading comments. I'm gonna be like a gaming channel now. I read all comments, guys, don't you worry. Yeah, I'll see you in less than 2 months. And if I don't post again in less than 2 months, you're fully allowed to come and fucking stick my head on a pike. All right, it's my bet to you as the people who watched this far. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.